Currently, I'm in the process of rewatching all of Stanley Kubrick's films in preparation for an upcoming video. However, that won't be out for a while, seeing as I'm still in the research part of the process. So I figured in the meantime, I might as well make an irrelevant review on my favorite Kubrick film, A Clockwork Orange. A Clockwork Orange is the 9th in Kubrick's filmography and perhaps his most controversial. It opened in theaters in 1971 and was quickly criticized and boycotted for its disturbing depiction of violence. It even went so far as to being pulled from theaters in the UK due to reports of copycat crimes, where teens who found the stylized violence in the film alluring blamed their behavior on A Clockwork Orange. Despite all this, it still has gone on to become recognized as one of the best films ever made. But enough about that. Let's talk about the movie. The film takes place in a dystopian society where our main character Alex leads a group of thugs referred to as Droogs on extremely violent endeavors that is also referred to as ultraviolence, which includes assaulting homeless people, breaking into homes, getting into gang fights, stealing cars, and raping women. All of which is juxtaposed with classical music, showing that even though Alex is well cultured, it in no way reflects on his morals or ethics. Even though he listens to Beethoven, he's still a monster at heart. In a society where it seems everyone is in some way disturbed or hypersexualized, there is still an abundance of delinquents who are ostracized and left to rot in jails, where Alex ends up in and is selected for an experimental treatment meant to cure him. However, this begs the question whether or not something like sociopathic behavior can be cured at all, especially in the way they tried to go about it, which was to physically train the body to repel violent tendencies through psychological torture. Is a man still a man if he has no choice? This is just one major theme prevalent throughout the film. There's a lot going on beneath the surface that's incredibly intriguing. On a technical level, Kubrick excels. The production and costume design is nothing short of bizarre and unique. Kubrick wanted to build a future world, but not in the way that was typical in science fiction films. He wanted something which was tomorrow, today, maybe near. He wanted the movie to be timeless, something that people could recreate. Instead of having a sleek, high-tech look, he wanted a more grimy, shabby, dirty feel, which comes across clear in the film. I mean, just look at the apartment where Alex lives, or the clothes the gangs wear. This was all a part of his vision, something that couldn't be compromised with. He was controlling, in every sense of the word, all the way from pre-production to post. The shooting, editing, writing, casting, the use of music. He was so heavily involved in all aspects of the film, which is why when you watch any of his movies, it's always clear it's his. Even though he makes films that are very different from each other, they're always similar from a technical and thematic point of view, almost always taking a look at the nature of humanity. In this, it's freedom of choice. What happens when that human right leads to problematic behavior? If it's simply taken away by the state, the results lead to equally dangerous outcomes. You can't simply take away a fundamental element of human nature through law and order.
I'm sorry, Alex. This is for your own good.
Malcolm McDowell as Alex DeLarge is mesmerizing, to say the least. His performance is so raw you forget you're watching an actor perform and recite his lines. All you see is the character. McDowell went through a lot during the making. In the scene where he's bound up in a straitjacket and has metal clamps forcing his eyes to keep open, that was real. An actual doctor was there keeping his eyes lubricated. At one point, McDowell started panicking and accidentally scratched his cornea. The scene where Alex is taken by his old friends and is drowned for a solid minute straight in one unbroken take, that was real also. It's this kind of filmmaking that leads to the movie feeling so real despite its stylized nature. It's so subversive and dark, a staple in pop culture. There are countless homages made to it, and for good reason. The film is captivating in its presentation, ideas, and leaves a lasting impact that never goes away, which is why it's still talked about today. I'd highly recommend this to anyone who hasn't seen it, and if I had to give it a rating, I'd give it a clear 10. So that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.